Hey everybody, and what is going on? Hold on, we got some issues. OBS, what are you doing? Rabbit Rob, what is up? Why we had the pre-show. Charles, what is up? We are trying to figure out what is going on. All right, let's see if that helps. There we go. Now we're in business. Goldie 1875, welcome to the stream. Anybody wondering why we ever have a pre-show? Well, it is so we can fix mysterious issues that crop up before everybody shows up for the party. Just like that. So I have to say, given the fact that we have so much round baling to go on, we are going to pony up the extra money to use this fast bale because, well, we're not going to be stopping every 10 seconds. Jordy! What's up? I don't know what was up with OBS. Well, I kind of know, but don't know why it was an issue. After all, I recorded 2 videos already today. Oh, the day's going pretty good. It's hard to believe it is 2 o'clock already. Where has the day gone? On automatic drop. There. Making sure this thing is working like it should. Okay, we're gonna go. I was just watching the F1 race post-show highlights. Or the post-show. Can't wait for the F1 race highlights. I'm sure that'll come up after the stream is done. I'll be able to watch that. Took a look at 2 maps this morning. Recorded 1 map video this morning. Recorded a new and noteworthy that's going to drop at 5 o'clock tonight. So that's going to drop in about 3 hours. Tonight we're going to be doing our ATS run. And I've got maybe 6 other mods to look at, see about possibly recording videos on. Busy weekends. Oh, is your day gone? We'll be curious on how much money we make off of this whole endeavor. Should be a ton. $144,000 now. As much of that grass as we can. Have y'all been watching any creators cover the Antonio Cardio pack? If so, what do y'all think of it now? Now that you've had a chance to see some of it in action. Perfect. First field done almost. Only 11 more to go. Yeah, I think I'd go insane. Having to remember to stop all the time. There we are. Thumbnail. Thumbnail. I don't think I'll ever get that right. Welcome to the stream. Almost ready to rock and roll with the full show. Watch out those high burns around the curbs. The REA 22 mod, it can upset the tractor and roll it. Alright guys, here we go. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the old stream farm. We are in the baling phase of our 12-field silage contract fest. We've got to be careful. We have contracts between two different locations, so we're going to have to deliver bales to two different spots to finish them all out. If we deliver too many bales to any one location, then we'll start selling bales that we're going to need to complete other contracts. It is a nice day for a stream. It's a little cool here, a lot cooler than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was in the mid-70s. Today it is probably down in the 40s. A little breezy. How's the weather where everybody else is? Greedy Troll, welcome. We are doing well. We're doing good. It's been a busy day. It's going to be a busy afternoon and evening. And then tomorrow we start our work week. When are we supposed to relax? Sunny and cold. Sunny and cold. Interesting for the first day of spring, is it not? Thought we'd bale in the reverse order that we mowed in. Mighty Mouse, how are you doing today? That's good enough. It's not been sunny out there on the West Coast. Well, that is one of the maps that I took a look at today and did a video on. So that video is out. I think it looks outstanding. I think Birdie did an exceptional job on the building pack. And I think everything works well visually. With the map set up. So we've got the map video that I published about an hour and a half ago, and we're going to be doing a video on the building pack that is independent of the map, and that's going to release here at 5 o'clock Eastern. So you can use those buildings on your own map should you so wish, and I think you're going to want to, because they are pretty nice buildings. And they are color changeable buildings at that. yeah, he's got buildings, he's got a farmhouse, he's got multiple animal pens, supporting buildings, silos, a fermenter. Most of those are color changeable, so you could even build out, you know, a no man's land type setup and have 4 or 5 different farms all using the same building pack and all of them looking a bit different. But of course, having an overall common theme, because so many American farms have those common architectural themes to them. Indeed, indeed. I'm very glad that he decided to make them color changeable. His description says that he named it the White Building Pack, the White Farm Building Pack, because originally he was just going to have it kind of whitewashed. Then decided to make them color changeable, and that just completely changes the whole game, right? When you can build out a white farm, you can build out a tan farm, a red farm, a brown farm. I haven't seen too many blue painted barns, but heck, you could do it. Bank barns, so you've got a lower level where your animals are and an upper level for you to store bales in or store machinery in or other things. And when you actually place the barn, the level terrain actually levels up to the upper level automatically. Outstanding. I know we're getting a little juddery. I don't know really why. It's because we've got the lighting and the shadows and the colors, or what? But Wild Style, what is up? Wild Style from the Lego movie. Oh, I think it would go great on Elk Mountain. It'd be a great companion to his own building pack on Elk Mountain. Phil, what's up? I'd like to know what everybody's thoughts are on the Antonio Carrillo pack. Now that you've been able to see some of my coverage on it, I'm sure you've been able to see some other folks who have early access to it cover on it. What are your thoughts on it now that you've been able to maybe see it used over your initial thoughts? Oh, well, thank you, Leon. Thank you. Hello back. How are you doing tonight, today, tomorrow, yesterday, whatever time it is for you? Hope your weekend is going good. nearly done our third field. Only 9 more to go. Darren, how are you doing today? I agree. Nice map. What's interesting is I didn't even know about the map until the what is it? The host map, whatever, the Furling. When that map came out, somebody made a comment and it was like, I just love these comments. It's like people assume I know everything, which is funny. Well, you didn't mention at all the fact that this is a map, and there's another map called Pennsylvania that's basically using this same map except it's American. I was like, well, I didn't mention it because I didn't know anything about this other map. Where it might it be? And then I came back and, oh, it's not released yet. I was like, oh, okay, well. I look forward to finding out when it is released, and apparently now it's released. I hope it does come to the Giants Mod Hub. I don't know. The map author has other building packs over on the Mod Hub, but not everything he's released is on the Mod Hub, so quite possibly it won't be over there. But I do hope it comes over because then console players will be able to experience it. And 14. Schultz have you out for a contract. He's got you on retainer. Somehow I've got this thing completely disjointed, out of order. Now, okay, now it's caught up. I don't know what they did here, but this is kind of interesting. We've got like sections of the fence that are kind of deader than others. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Christophe, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the subscription. For the sub. These little grass fields are great. Starlink is amazing. Oh, that's great to hear. Oh, no Ethernet adapter. So latency is about a half a second. I know a lot of people were hoping Starlink was kind of the internet savior for rural America, and it sounds like it might be. Might be living up to a lot of its promises. I don't know, maybe it's the fencing, I don't know. We're in November, we maybe need to pay attention on No Man's Land when it gets back to autumn. And see what it does. So I know Starlink isn't cheap. Atlanta is a super speedway. Just put the pedal down and hold on, huh? There's a fair bit upfront purchase on the hardware. But I think the service overall is within acceptable norms. Yeah, the hardware is high. That's weird. We're going twice. We've somehow managed to get this thing to the point where it's backed up. There we go. Yeah, see, look, somehow we're all somehow this thing is getting ahead of itself. Could have put in that has messed that up. Maybe it's REA implements. Maybe that's it. Maybe REA implements messes up the fast baler's timing logic or timing programming. I know Darren and I both want to see South Mountain Creamery come over, but you know, the fact that it didn't come over from didn't come over from 17 really doesn't have much hope that it's going to come over to 22 from 17, since it didn't go to 19 at all. It's a shame that it was more of a one-off. I want to test. We're going to save this. We're going to exit. We're going to take REA implements out. See if the fast bale works normal. It was, look. Now we are bailing at 5 miles an hour. REA implements breaks the fast baler's timing functionality. Very interesting. On those smaller fields, I wasn't noticing it because we didn't have long enough runs for the baler to get behind. But as we move into these larger and larger fields with longer and longer windrows, we're able to get the baler behind by feeding too much into it. I think the price for the people that need it is decent. Right? If your only choice is, let's say, Comcast, or you probably don't even have Comcast, really. The people that really need it don't have cable because they live out in an area that Comcast won't provide them service because they are too removed from, you know, other people and other infrastructure. So their only choices are DSL type services or hotspot type services over their cell provider. So their downloads are potentially single megabit. It's definitely not competitive for me where I live, but I live in town. I have a fiber provider that can run fiber right in my house. So, you know, we're lucky we're in a situation where Comcast and the fiber provider can actually compete for service. But if you go, 5 miles out of town, then suddenly it becomes a completely different story. Dark Lion, what is up? What you're talking about, Hog Lord. This map is bigger than it was in 17, 100%, and it's bigger than it was in 19. This whole section below the river is all new. 19, they added a section up here versus the 17 section. I would say the 17 map was probably something like this. That was probably the 17 map. Something like that. Then 19, they expanded and added that up there. And then the 22 version, they added all of this. So this map is not smaller than either the 19 or 17 version. Anyone looking to win maybe the Antonio Cario DLC, we're doing one final giveaway tomorrow night. There is the Gleam.io link. Tomorrow night we're going to be doing a launch party live stream where we are going to be doing multiplayer with anybody else in the Discord that happens to have the DLC at that point. The DLC is going to release over Giants about 1 hour before our live stream goes on, so probably be over on Erlengrot. Set a bunch of olives and just have an olive old time. Yeah, olive a good time. Yeah, sure. Even though a recent poll, viewers surveyed indicated that more did not like olives than did, we'll have an olive good time. haven't really done a lot of olive work in the game, so maybe I'll be able to do an olive harvest for the first time. Optimus, what is up? I've been thinking about the starting setup on our April challenge. I need to get some things figured out Monday on that before we get the mod list. Well, Scooter, I would, but we've got basically a week and a half, just under 2 weeks before we basically completely abandon Old Stream and No Man's Land to move over to Greenlands. Greenlands, I guess, for the entire month of April for the April console PC challenge. So I gotta figure out starting fields. I'm thinking we got that map has sheep, pigs, and cows, right? Have 2 sections of cows or just 1 section of cows? I think we're going to do 25 of each animal. 25 pigs, sheep, and cows to start out with. And the way the regulations read, you have to, at a minimum, maintain those 25 cows, sheep, and pigs. Meaning you can't sell them off, you have to keep them. You can expand the animals, but you can't eliminate them. So we got 12, we gotta go up here and hit 11. Yeah, for me that was like 10 maps ago, so a little blurry on exactly what it was, but and then starting land, I want to figure that out. I need to figure out if I want to start, should we start by owning the biogas plant or not? I need to think that through. Starting money, got to figure that out. Like I said, starting land, and then the mod list really is going to kind of govern the starting machinery, or if we do or don't have starting machinery, then what kind of money we start out with. And knowing we're going to have potentially teams of 10 people, we need to start out with enough that 10 people will be able to do stuff, right, from the get-go. Let's say read the you have to read the regs, right? I don't think the regs say the animals you start with you have to finish with. I think the regs just say the number of animals you start with you have to maintain. Of course, that also then plays a little bit of the slot count idea into equation. Obviously, the best deal would be to have several of the exact same tractor, because you're only hit for slots once. We'll be on 1.31. International Farmer, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub. We're going to be pretty darn close to 36,000 soon. Subs have slowed down quite drastically since January, so I think we'll be celebrating every 1,000 again. Oh, watch out, lady. You're going to be taken out by a baler. Deer in town. Fresh venison. Only if you have a console. Slot count's not exposed to PC players. I mean, technically, if you save the game, go into the career save, and I think it's line 37, 57, something ends with a 7. There's the slot count number, how many slots are being used. It would be a ridiculously amount of work to go in and basically iterate through various machinery, but you could, in theory, save with the raw map, look at slot counts, then buy something, save, look at slot count, do a subtraction, and that's how many slots that thing you bought added. That's the distinct advantage that console has over PC, is they visually see in the shop slot count for everything. It's not exposed to PC players. But I know numbers gameplay is a lot of your interest. I just play to play. Apparently I asked about it. It's apparently dynamically calculated based on a whole bunch of parameters that are specified in the mod XML. So So there's some formulaic method that they calculated out. Let me see if I can't find it real fast. I gotta scroll through a few days worth of chat. Looking. Ah, here it is. So somehow it's calculated off of this type of information. Dang it, it's too much. All right, I'll put it in Discord. The Pennsylvania map with Italian tractors. Now, that is an interesting mix. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well run the German version. All I know is if it's John Deere, it's going to be large slot counts. And apparently if you buy more than one thing, the second thing is usually one slot over the original charge. Schultz, what's up? Darren says he's sending you an invoice. Anybody know if there's an ATS? Imagine if there was a poultry trailer. If there was a poultry trailer for ATS, and there were chicken loads. Since we're activating the spring mod, we could be running spring chickens. Okay, I just had to do that. Yeah, and apparently the slot usage only counts for crossplay mods. So that slot usage in the save game file for PC players is only counting the slots used by cross-play compatible maps and mods. If you have non-cross-play mods, apparently the slot usage value is not accurate. And if you have third-party mods from outside the mod hub, the slot usage count is not accurate. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like maybe some black magic where this number comes from. I know in the tester, the mod tester, there's supposedly a slot count estimator, and the slot count estimator is supposed to give you a rough idea, but it isn't necessarily definitive. Yeah, that's how it's going to work. I think this is a 10. Oh, it's a 9:30. It is a contract job. Run down here. Maybe we'll get some more light. Oh, it's snowing. We're gonna be bailing in the snow. Wow, that's not more light. Oh, look, we got winter snowman. Yeah, or it's not necessarily the max memory. Maybe it's the max memory that the console is allowing to be reserved for game usage. Right? It wouldn't be a very good platform if they allowed all your memory to be used. So I'm sure that there's some amount that's reserved for the host OS and other such processes. So if a console has 16 gigs of memory, I'm sure there's some amount that's reserved and unavailable for the game. So what ends up being available for the game may be more like 12. Yeah, Phil, that's basically what I had gotten back from QA was the slot usage count that's in the save game file is only accurate as far as cross-play maps and mods. If you have a save game that has PC-only mods enabled, those don't get counted toward the slot count. And or they are not accurately counted. Well, it'll be fun if that gets out on the road. Stop just shy. Cheat off your thumbnail. I activated spring, but I don't think it's daylight yet. Still need to look at Proceed. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on that. I haven't used it. I've never used it. I didn't use Proceed in 17. I didn't use it in 19. I think it's going to take too long for me to feel that I can talk about it in an accurate manner. I gotta look at Pro Shot, but Pro Shot worries me that it's maybe a lot too sophisticated. I've seen it rambling about color temperature and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh man, that's too much. Waylon, what's up? No. Oh no, we lost the bale. Down here getting water sold. Yeah, I think after last Monday's stream, everyone's tired of winter. Winter didn't work out so well. United Bill, welcome. How are you doing today? Good to hear. Maybe I need to dial back the rain. Maybe I need to make the rain percentage nearly 0. After a little bit, the new wore off. Like a particular truck mod in Farm Sim. When the new wears off, then it's like, I'm just gonna get rid of this truck. Because the new's worn off now, it's annoying. Look at that fill level warning mod for harvesters. I was hoping that it would stop the harvester when it was full. Kind of like how we have the round bale extension mod that stops the round baler when it's full. But it just sounds an alarm and turns on the beacons. I'm like, oh. Still have to pay attention. Is it Edicus? I'm not really sure what you're saying there. But hello and welcome to the stream. Another bale going down the road. Looks like it's going to hit the first one and stop. I don't think I would want to be in this tractor in this particular situation. Be a little unsettling at that angle. Particles! What is up? I know OBS is acting up a little bit and I need to probably shut it down and restart it. Oh, this is that tractor that's got the USB radio. Oh, now we have stop traffic. Now we've done it. How much traffic will get backed up. We're up to 3 cars. $48, $49, $42. I don't know if I did 27 yet. Where is 27? I think I mowed 27. I have not. Those off the beaten path fields. Oh, this is the open sheep pasture. No sheep trail or chicken trailers. We can't transport spring chickens. panel set up. Then comes the time of figuring out, oh, this is interesting. Figuring out how you want to do the button mappings. This is real interesting. You're not going to be modding for like a week because you try to figure that all out. Hey, it's a lot of buttons. A lot of buttons. So this is not multiplayer. Oh, we're gonna come off a cliff. I hope you have enough you have a free USB port. Three more in the books. Some modding. Maniac. You'll be on your way to 500,000 downloads soon enough. Yeah, it's got a built-in clamp, so clamp on the side of a desk. Should work pretty good. Oh, nice. The map is literally in the title, XYZ. Now we've moved all the fields. How we missed that? park bench. They didn't need that anyway. We apparently hung up our mighty mowers caught by a silly park bench. All right, any rate, where are we at? Well, I mean, you never know, right? You never know how people receive stuff. It's an amazingly well built bench. Do you know think? Guess you never really know how any mod is going to be received. And then there's always the potential, right? There's the potential that someone else is working on the exact same thing. And it drops right before yours, and you're like, oh. Now I look like a copycat because, of course, no one thinks that we've been co-developing this mod independently for weeks to months. Right, that's the big, don't say anything. We don't need anybody, you know, coming in undercutting. I had a guy leave a comment on your toolbox mod. Rather interesting comment. He was fired up. He was fuming on how much he absolutely hated your mod. On why on earth you have to carry something around to do maintenance. I mean, because, you know, in real life you don't have a toolbox or nothing. It's like, dude, you don't have to use it. No one's forcing you to download this mod, forcing you to activate it, and forcing you to implement it in your save, other than yourself. Maybe you should be hating yourself as opposed to the mod. Because clearly, it's not the mod's problem. I just don't get it. Do not get it at all. Oh, classic. I don't have access to this land. Losing all this beautiful grass. I mean, clearly, yeah, clearly it's, it's horribly received when it's got a 4.5 or higher star rating. Sell everything is cheating because it's at normal economy pricing. The pricing isn't inflated. Maybe the way you perceive you being able to use it is cheating. Maybe you have a cheating mind because the only way you can see using it would be to plop it down right beside the field you're harvesting, so you don't have to actually transport your crop anywhere. Or maybe you perceive it cheating because you put it down literally under your silo, and somehow you trigger the silo to dump straight into the sell point. Because, you know, that's the only way or use you can conceive using it. But, you know, to each their own. Everyone gets to have an opinion. Everyone gets to voice their opinion. Sometimes you just gotta wonder where they came from. So they don't seem to make any sense, but... I had somebody call me a liar the other day on my Elm Creek video. So, you know, the Elm Creek map video, which came out like literally the day the game released, right? I got called a liar. I was like, they were like, don't trust this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because you can sell the buildings at the other farms. He's full of it. I said, do you notice when this video was released? And I assume you haven't looked at the changelog to see that in the update 1.2, they added the ability to sell the farms. Now, while there isn't a date on the changelog, one can assume that 1.2 came out after the game was released. "7 days. Makes you wonder, why do you even do this? Indeed, Phil, indeed. We got a couple of those. A couple of those that like to come by and comment on videos on a regular basis. Farm zone's been trashed since FS15 and all this other stuff. It's like, then why do you waste your time watching videos? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get anything done if I actually updated every video every time a map came out. What am I supposed to do? Take the old video down and redo a whole new video? B. Williams, Erlengrad is awesome. I enjoyed my time on Erlengrad in FS19. It was fun. I had built out a custom dairy farm. What I'm curious from you all is, what are your all's impressions of the Antonio Cario DLC? Now that you've had a chance to see me use it in a few live streams, you've probably had plenty of chance to see other creators that have access to it make use of it and present it. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. If they've changed at all, if they're still however they've been. Oh my, you are completely land baroning. If it's farmland, B. Williams owns it. Well, there's been a couple really good Erlengrot edits that have come out since FS22 released. Really, really good Erlengrot edits. Scooter's back. Oh, there it goes in the road. Ace, catfishing, welcome. Do you go noodling or how do you catch your catfish? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? My day is going well. We can talk about the Pennsylvania map that released. The video I dropped earlier today. Custom Pennsylvania license plates. That is super awesome. I'd like to know from our resident Pennsylvanian if he's still... No, he's not watching. He's watching the race. Anybody from Pennsylvania know if the license plate is a real Pennsylvania design? Looks like a Pennsylvania plate. I'm just not sure if the little slogan on the bottom is a legit Pennsylvania plate. Cute little tractors. So Schultz, since you said it, you're not super thrilled about it, which is perfectly fine, right? Did you have some notion that it was going to be something else, and then you have a little bit of that bait and switch thought process of, I thought it was going to be this, but then it turned out to be that, or was it one of those things I had no idea what it was? And I definitely wasn't thinking it would be anywhere as close to miniature tractors. This type of a thing, like, that's the last thing I thought it would be, and it is what it is. Self-propelled forest. You mean this? You mean this? The Frinoff Raptor 300 with then the mulcher head on it. So then you add this to it. I think that's it. Yeah. You add this to it, or you could add this to it. Mean, nasty stump grinder. I think Black Sheep Modding is coming out with their mulcher from FS19. I know there is a that is the Black Sheep Modding one. There is a unauthorized edit or an unauthorized conversion out there of that now, but Black Sheep Modding is supposedly working on their own. Yeah, for me it was one of those, well, that's not what I was hoping. But, you know, a lot of my hopes were just high in the sky dreams. We'll have to see what we get with the "this will drive you crazy" hit. So I can pull up a... Yeah, let me pull this up. Yeah, there was this. The Lizard TR Trex Tex 600. And then Black Sheep Modding posted this image back in January. Color selectable. But we really haven't heard anything since. But there is a unauthorized conversion out there. I wouldn't condone using it in any way. Genetic J, you're not far off. It's a set of golf carts. It's golf carts, no doubt. More side-by-side options. Yeah, so no word where they are on that. You know, I gotta think it's close. They've been working on it. They've been teasing it for a while. And they've got a lot of things kind of in their pipeline. All I can say is just keep checking the Giants testing thread and seeing if you get a, see if you see the cracks show up in testing. Then you know it's close. Well, I mean, that's what I thought, or that's what I was kind of speculating this one would be. More vehicles for your farm would be kind of EU trucks. Yeah, I think a man truck DLC would go over well for Europeans. I think Americans would be fuming yet again. They seem to, I think, forget this is an international game. International interests. All of this grass is unobtainable. Unattainable. And then the third hint is doing things more efficiently. I've got to think that's big machinery, right? Maybe those big air seeders we don't have. Other big things. They had a Big Bud DLC. That's about as American as you're going to get, is it not? That was an FS17. That included a pair of Big Buds and several very big pieces of machinery to pull behind the Big Bud. The Borgalt, that's Canadian, right? So that's North American. So yeah, that qualifies, right? Nick! Yeah, Nike. What's this guy? Trucker. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, sir? So I think doing things more efficiently is got to be around bigger stuff. What else could more efficiently be? I think Kuhn is global. We had the Kuhn DLC in 17. Although I'd say probably most, if not all, of the Kuhn stuff had the EU warning signs on it. Vicon is global, or maybe Vicon is the Vicon sold in North America versus the Kuverlin brand being more European? I don't know. Maybe more efficiently is big trucks. Transport things around. Maybe it's a transportation style DLC. We had a South American DLC in FS17 with the Platinum expansion. We had the Stancha La Pacha map, and sugarcane was introduced. And then, of course, the fourth thing for the Year 1 Season Pass is going to be some sort of map expansion and a whole, quote, plethora of machines and vehicles. So that feels to me like a plethora of new machines. Sounds like there's going to be an additional crop or crops added to the game with that map expansion, and we're going to be looking at machinery to basically use with that new set of crops. Similar to what we saw with the Platinum expansion and the sugarcane stuff. Oh, that would be a good surmise with the McCormick round bale handling stuff. So yeah, there you go. Asia is kind of, you know, it's the easy target, I think. If we didn't have a Japanese tractor, the sole Japanese tractor in the game, the Azeka, or Azeki, then you gotta wonder where that came from. You know, one tractor for the whole brand begs that there's more coming. I think they mentioned that with self-publishing, they were able to move into the Asian market, which they previously were not in when they were dealing with working with Focus Home Interactive. So, from a business perspective, what better way to expand your presence in a new market than to gear content around that new market, right? We have to think, and we should be thinking about it from a business perspective. It makes very good business sense to want to put out content for a new region. I mean, versatile might be a contender for doing things more efficiently, right? Do they offer field work implements? Yeah, I got to feel that doing things more efficiently is going to be an implement mod. We've talked about, speculated that fruit trees, orchards aren't too far of a stretch with the olive mechanics on possibly planting them, and or the just general mechanics overall. So part of maybe guessing about what could be coming is to look at what's in the game now and maybe where are there seemingly interesting holes or gaps. Right? There seems to be a fairly decent gap in like case. And it seems like that was maybe initially filled by McCormick, right? Maybe by McCormick being added in, certain case things were pulled out. We have a huge deficit in Valtra. Valtra, we used to have like the whole product line. Now we have just one. maybe 2. So as Schultz was saying that, you know, when they announced the Antonio Carrillo, logically after the announcement came out, it made sense. Because when you look at the olives and grape stuff, there's the Fendt tractor, there's the little New Holland methane tractor, and then there's the little Landini tractor. So there were basically 3 tractors, one from different brands that were narrow in order to be used, you know, in those scenarios with the narrower equipment. So when you see then a brand being featured in a DLC that really has 2 main markets. One is vineyards and groves and maybe even orchards, and then grass work on, you know, hilly terrain, hillsides. It makes some sense to expand because of that new product or that new crop. That was a gap, if you will. So what gaps exist? What gaps exist now that could be filled? Large cedars, I would say, is a pretty obvious gap that we're seeing from FS17's Big Bud Pack that introduced the Seed Hawk and the Australian large cedar. And then they were continued with the Bulgalt DLC in 19 with those large cedars. Those are mysteriously missing. So they might be, you know, something around large seeding operations. Large planters could be coming. I think if you find the gaps, you're going to have a good idea what's coming up. I don't know too many farms that have goats on them. Nuts. We get into we get into nuts. Almonds. Almonds is what I was thinking. I mean, that's big in the California Valley, right? Nuts. Nuts, pecans, walnuts. Peanuts is big here in Virginia, in central Virginia. That's more of a, that's not so much of a tree nut, right? Peanuts are not tree nuts. They're kind of more of a bean, a legume, than a true nut. But, you know, all of that stuff has specialty equipment. Yeah, you know, you get into like green bean harvesting, broccoli, cauliflower, stuff like that. I've watched some interesting videos on things like Brussels sprouts and cranberry harvesting and just cranberry cultivating. I mean, if they brought in goats, we could take goat hair down to the spinnery and make cashmere. So yeah, I mean, like rice. If they moved with something Asian and moved with rice, or added rice as a viable crop, and then the whole idea of floodable fields, you know, moving water plane up and down. We've seen maps that have incorporated rice, have had triggers that make a water plane rise and lower. But that opens up to other things that are either grown in flooded fields or harvested out of flooded fields, like cranberries. Yeah, I mean, we could speculate for the whole next year, rest of the year. And they'd be completely surprised by whatever it does end up being. I did not think we would end up being spending the entire stream bailing. I thought we'd bail and then be partway through collecting our bales, but hey, we're gonna make a fortune. We're gonna make an absolute fortune off of all this silage. It's interesting for sure, you know. Sugarcane was interesting to experience. It's not something I want to mess with every game save. Right? Messing with grapes on the No Man's Land. Mostly so we can play with that winery mod. But, you know, overall it wasn't too terrible bad. I think the placement of grapevines could be maybe balanced a little bit. economically, I think they're a little bit too expensive to really get into. And as a result, people might get into them in a small manner, and then never really get any money out of them because they went into them in a very small way. The winery mod will not run on any console because it's not on the Giants Mod Hub. And it probably won't be on the Giants Mod Hub because it is producing an alcoholic product. I think there's a mod out there that cuts the price of vines either in half or like a third or something. Oh, Optimus is gone for the vine contest. He wants that 30-60. Very specific. What, you can't use any mods? It's gotta be all base game stuff. Yep, that's what I think, and that's kind of, I think, what we've heard out of Kermit is the game ratings. They want to maintain that. But in the U.S., it's E for everyone. I don't know what the rating system is for the EU. What it is, but at any rate, they want to maintain that because they want, when a kid asks, you know, if an 8-year-old says, "Mommy, can you give me Farming Simulator?" and the parent looks at the, you know, at the ad or whatever, and it says it's for 13 or older or whatever, then be like, "Oh, it's for older kids. You can't have it." I mean, it's why there isn't male or female animals, right? We have asexual reproduction. They just duplicate. You know, we have roosters in game that don't do anything, just look pretty. Robbie Williams, you probably put 2 words in with a period in between and no spaces. So if you do word.word, Streamlabs is an idiot and it thinks it's a link. So if you put a word dot, make sure you put a period or a space before you start the next word. Diablo del Toro, welcome. Yeah, it's Streamlabs is being an idiot. I've seen it plenty of times before. Their link detection logic is completely illogical. Yeah, if you're ending a sentence like, it could completely be done, period, but, and you didn't put a space, then it's done, dot, but. Yeah, that's a link already. But it's been said, you know, the reason we don't have male bulls, the reason we don't have bulls, and so forth, is that Giants doesn't want to be the reason a kid goes and asks their parents why they need a bull in with their cows in order to make babies. It's just you have cows, they reproduce, you get more cows. We'll leave the parenting up to the parents. Rob got a buzz cut. Uh-oh, there goes another one. Two bales in the water. Yeah, I wish overall it was easier to see land boundaries in 22. Right? If you're out there and you're doing grass and you're trying to find, oh, that one's way down there, and you're trying to find land boundaries, but you're just kind of guessing. So I wish there was like a way to have the land boundaries staked out. Kind of like these road stakes. Maybe you could You could turn something on that land boundaries were staked. And maybe they don't have collisions on them, but at least you can see where the boundaries are. Oh. I've never heard of this. Baldric. Whoa. This is our final field, which we just found out about. Ah, very well. This is typically the outside sheep pasture that you can buy. You can, if you once you buy the land, you can sell the sheep stuff if you want, and then make use of it as a grass field, or really plow it up, do whatever you want with it. But kind of interesting. I like how we have these ideas of outside pastures. We have the sheep one, we have an outside cow one on this map. So people bottle their own wine, Optimus, or they basically collect the grapes and take them somewhere central, and then kind of that place keeps track of how many grapes you bring by and then how much wine you can pick up as a result. Kind of like a co-op winery. Wondering if we're going slower on this field because we haven't mowed it. Whereas I think some of these other fields we've definitely mowed before. Gunner, what is up? We're going to be finishing this field out, and then we're going to call it for the day. As far as Farming Simulator live streams, we will be back in about 4 hours for an American Truck Simulator Monday night convoy night, only where it's going to be on Sunday night. Because tomorrow night we are going to be doing a Monday night launch party live stream, multiplayer format for the Antonio Cario DLC. We'll be live streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which should be about 1 hour after it is released on the Giants eShop. Anyone who has the season pass from the Giants eShop, or anyone that has picked up the DLC from the eShop, will be able to download it at that point, as the mod or the DLC will be releasing midnight CET on the 22nd, which for me happens to be about 7 p.m. on the 21st. So yippee for us. Depending on your time zone, it may be earlier in the day than that, of course, or it could be later in the day on the 22nd. I guess theoretically it could even fall into the 23rd if you are unlucky enough to live on that time zone. This is hilly terrain. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Dig, get some grip. There we are. It is 3 hours and 50 minutes before ATS. So it is 4:10 for me. Yeah, the U.S. moved to daylight savings time last weekend because we are idiots. Where the gray beard? Fun. Nice little spin around the tractor. Come on. It was very interesting. I discovered earlier that the REA Implements mod seems to break the fast baler's ability to govern itself. So when I had the REA Implements mod activated, we were using the fast baler, but we were able to bale at full speed. And as a result, we were able to kind of overwhelm the baler and get it fuller then it was able to really keep up non-stop. Didn't stop, it just caused us to miss a whole lot of product. So after we took the REA implements mod out, then the fast baler started to behave like we would expect. No. Everything's easier with GPS. Keeping up with chat is a lot easier with GPS. I don't know about that. B. Williams, we are going to be making a ton of money off of these contracts once we finish them out. See if we can finish this bailout. Might be able to do it. Or what's up? Hundred some liters of grass left. Haha, maybe. Basically, Thor, everything is an hour earlier until you change your clocks. So for me, it is 4:15 p.m. It means we are 3 hours and 45 minutes away from the ATS screen. I might just finish this bailout the old-fashioned way. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call this a day. I've got to go look at a couple more mods, figure out what we're gonna have for dinner, and get set up for the ATS stream tonight. If they are coming out and watching, tomorrow we will be doing a live stream launch party at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Antonio Carrillo DLC. We'll be doing it in multiplayer format. We'll have a bunch of folks in, trying it out, checking it out. We're going to get their first impressions, their thoughts on the pack as they get to try it out for the first time. And maybe help you all decide if you should or should not go ahead and spend your money on it, right? So until next time, happy farming. Oh, and also check out the Pennsylvania map that dropped earlier today, and there's going to be a new and noteworthy drop here in about 45 minutes. See ya!